In this edition of RV and Travel Adventures, I'm going to be talking about lithium batteries. I've been reading a lot in the news lately about automotive batteries catching fire. Specifically batteries made by the manufacturer LG Chemical of Korea at various locations in China, Korea, and in Poland. So they're automotive batteries and on very rare occasions catch fire. And a lot of folks now are getting a little bit nervous about LG Chemical and their batteries. For example, folks at parking garages say, "Hey, you can't park your electric vehicle here. We're afraid you're going to catch fire." Or individuals have to park their cars now in the driveway. I know that Chevrolet Bolt or whatever it's called. I get mixed up. They say, "Hey, we're having issues with our supplier LG Chemical, and we'd like you to leave your car parked in the driveway, not in the garage, in the driveway. Hopefully, there's no hail and no damage from other things, but you're gonna have to leave it out there until we figure this thing out." And there's a recall going on with these batteries. Of course, the folks at LG Chemical, they have these pouch batteries and different kinds of formulations. Apparently, their most recent formulation is supposed to be pretty good, but some of their previous formulations had some very modest and again infinitesimal almost issues. So I know how things like this can be overblown sometimes. Several incidents of batteries, exploding. Can create a certain level of mistrust. Just a few examples can cause a lot of mistrust. One of the issues I learned by doing some reading and also on the old YouTube, of course, everything on YouTube is absolutely 100% reliable and truthful. We all know that. From what I understand, a lot of the batteries out there, to reduce the chance of having issues, don't let if you have a battery that has a certain capacity of 100%, they only allow you to charge it up to about 95%, okay? And only drain it down to about 5%. These are rough estimates. I'm not being exact. And each manufacturer has a little bit of different. So they don't want you to overcharge or undercharge that battery, okay? That's because they have a battery management system, a BMS. How does this relate to RVing? Well, there's a lot of folks out there installing lithium batteries in their travel trailers, motorhomes, fifth wheels, etc., okay? And that's it's a great battery formulation. Right now, I haven't heard of any problems with RV batteries. But one of the things I've heard of a lot lately are some folks out there recommending, make your own battery, okay? So you buy a bunch of, little batteries and you put them, you slap some Kaftan tape on them and you put on a BMS and probes in there and you're set. You have yourself a 250 amp hour, 220 amp hour, I don't know. 100 amp hour, 80 amp hour battery, 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 volt. They have all kinds of iterations, okay? And you make it all by yourself, and you have the batteries, you assemble them, you put the BMS that you bought separately, and you're set. They're putting these in your RV, okay? These are people putting these things in their RV. Hopefully, they're smarter people than I am, because I'm a little bit nervous about that situation. Who's to say that charge controller is going to say that battery is not going to overcharge or, that the batteries get depleted and might have some issues, okay? One of the ways, again, a lot of battery manufacturers out there for automotive at this time, make sure that your battery doesn't have any issues that might cause it to catch fire or to this life expectancy be diminished, is not to overcharge it and make sure it doesn't go down below a certain level and discharge, okay? So I just wanted to inform you that there's these issues in the automotive industry, very minor issues from what I understand at this time. I know that Tesla and their association with Panasonic is not having these issues, okay? Yeah, at this time. And some of these manufacturers are having problems again with LG Chemical out of Korea. So these are big issues if you're actually in that fire. But again, it's infinitesimally possible that this is going to happen to you, okay? It's a very small chance. Again, this size of chance, a tiny, tiny, tiny baby chance, okay? So a lot of people are avoiding cars that have the older LG batteries now, used market, newer, there's LG makes all kinds of different batteries and different formulations, and so do all the manufacturers. And they're usually pouch cells. I know that Tesla uses, the ones that look like AA's, AAA's, those kind of batteries. But they're lithium in a special formulation and a special size and special everything. If I remember correctly, they're called cylindrical cells. But then again, I am not an expert. So just keep your eyes peeled and see what's going on out there. And I would recommend at this time, from my personal experience as just a regular guy, not an electrical engineer, not a person that does chemistry at all, don't know anything about that stuff to that nth of a degree, but I would still be careful. If you're going to buy a battery, buy it from a reliable manufacturer that stands by the product and actually tests it if you're going to put it inside your RV. A lot of times people put those batteries just to keep them nice and toasty and warm and don't get cold. They put them under their bed. Or, in the pass-through storage. That's what I was planning. I put mine in my pass-through storage when I get my travel trailer. So, just wanted to share a bit of information. Again, I don't want to get you going nuts and say all these batteries are horrible. No, they aren't. A lot of the battery manufacturers out there are actually very, very good. And the problems with LG Chemical are infinitesimal. They're very, very small. And apparently they had some issues. I do not know why they're having these issues at their various plants. And they seem to be, they're definitely doing some research right now, trying to figure it out. It might have been a human problem or a manufacturing process problem, but definitely, I think it's a QC problem, a quality control problem. Those batteries should have never left the factory. Okay, they should have tested them, checked their parameters. But again, they're trying to whip these things out as quickly as possible. Some of these manufacturers, they're trying to make a buck. I understand. I would like to make more bucks. I would like to have more bucks. Would you like to have more bucks? Everybody would like to have more bucks. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Menegares. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And again, if you have the time, only if you have the time. If you don't have the time, I totally understand. Please leave your comments, suggestions, and questions below. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Menegares. I've given you a tiny, tiny heads up just to keep your eyes peeled, as we say in Spanish, ojos pelados, to see what's going on out there and make sure you buy from your batteries for your RV from a reputable manufacturer that has an excellent, again, reputation. Where am I at? I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.